Now then, welcome to another episode of Now That's Midschool. Those of you that follow the Now That's Midschool Instagram account will no doubt be aware that I no longer have a collection of frames, magazines, videos, DVDs, stickers. Basically everything's gone due to a fire in the storage facility that I put everything into whilst we moved house and went on holiday. Both events coinciding within a couple of days of each other. You just think, yeah, bang them in storage while we get organised, get the new house up and running, then move everything back in. But unfortunately, last Wednesday, the storage facility went up in flames. We're not 100% sure the reasons why, but it's thought it was to do with lithium-ion batteries in e-scooters and e-bikes that were being stored and sold out of that storage facility. They literally only just put the fire out properly a couple of days ago now. The site's been fenced off. There's been a demolition squad in there taking off the roof and panels with a mind to allowing the fire brigade to safely put out any other small pockets of fires that might have remained after the main fire was sort of put out. So yeah, today is a bittersweet day. I have here a frame that I'd ordered about a week, maybe 2 weeks before going on holiday. I had it delivered to my father-in-law's house, and yeah, we're going to join the collection. Although, truth be told, one of my frames was going to be sold in order to help pay for this. So, but right now, let's cheer ourselves up and we'll do a bit of a reveal. I've not opened this box yet. So let's get into it, shall we? Get a knife. So yeah, this particular frame I'd kind of always wanted, and due to them being sort of super rare, certainly here in the UK, I settled for one that I think might be a little bit more common in the end. I'm opening this the wrong way around, I think. So when this came up, I thought, right, I've got to have a go at getting it. I've just got to have a go. Initially, the price was very good for what it is. I jumped in there and offered way over asking price for it, but that price also included the shipping over here to the UK from Texas. Yep, Corpus Christi, Texas. So yeah, paid well over the odds for it, but it secured it. I'll reveal who sold it to me in a moment. And yeah, I was tracking it as I always do, tracking its progress, getting over here. And then it got stuck in customs, and they wanted a chunk of money as well, which only increased, obviously, the amount I've actually paid for it to well over odds. But you know what, under the circumstances, I now no longer have a frame collection, so whether this will be the first of the new collection, I'm not sure. We're going to have to wait and see on that. Oh my God. Do you know what? I'm done being careful with this. Hope my wife won't see me busting this out open on the new living room table, or dining room table, should I say. I will talk a little bit more about what's going on with the storage facility, because my contents are still there, the frames are still there. I have no doubt that the magazines and videos and DVDs are now all gone. Very, very surprised if any of those survived. Very surprised indeed. The frames, I feel, would have survived. Now, the collection, the unit that we had rented was on the upper deck. The facility was 2 stories. Our unit was on the upper deck. The roof did collapse. Having seen aerial photos taken by local drone enthusiasts, it's possible, maybe marginally possible, that the section of roof covering my unit didn't collapse. I've got my fingers crossed still. After all this time, I'm still holding out hope, because if nothing fell on them, they would have survived. Absolutely. The new school collections, or the new school frames in the collection, if anything hit them, they'd be doomed, I'm quite sure. But the mid-school stuff, as you know, tanks, bloody taking atomic blast, some of those things. So the owners of the storage facility and local council are talking about some sort of salvage plan, an operation of some sort of description. How they're going to do that, I have no idea, because there was a lot of people using that facility, a lot of stuff in there that people are going to want to try and salvage. How that's going to go down, I really don't know. It's a logistical nightmare if you think about it. But you know, if that's what they're talking about, I'm willing to go down that road and check out what can be pulled out, if it can be pulled out at all without using serious mechanical means. So, we're getting close now. Well packaged, Ricky. Lots of bubble wrap going on here. Thank you very much for that. By the way, this came from Ricky Cruz. You might have seen him floating about on various Facebook groups, or you might not have done. Wow, really well packaged, Ricky. Thank you very much. Can we get a drum roll? So, complete survivor, Gen 1, solid killing machine. So as I mentioned a short while ago, I was going to sell one of my frames, and it would have been my Gen 2 killing machine to help fund this. Looking at it, and you know, if I can't get my collection back, I don't know whether I'm going to restore it. I may leave it survivor. I mean, original decals still intact, head tube, seat tube, down tube, top tube, original 14mm factory dropouts, seat stay brake mounts. Yeah, that is a beast of a frame. It's just a shame I don't have my King Liberty to put it at the side of, because as I mentioned in one of the Solid Killing Machine episodes, the King Liberty was more sort of related to this than the Duke. The only difference being the bottom bracket wishbone that the Gen 1 Killing Machine featured, whereas if you remember, the King Liberties, they don't have a bottom bracket wishbone. But sort of this section here, The front section, very, very King Liberty-like. So, yeah, Ricky Cruz, thank you very much indeed. Bittersweet that it doesn't get to join my solid AAV2 and Cult Death Row. But, you know, like I said, I do still have a little bit of hope. And maybe it will do. So let's take some gratuitous shots for you. And yeah, see you in a couple of minutes. So yeah, the Gen 1 solid killing machine, much larger dropouts than on the Gen 2, certainly much chunkier. Full wishbone, not capped off like on the Gen 2. Still got the externally machined seat tube, solid signature move. Those classic solid gussets that I think ape the hot rod style. Just those little cutouts there give it a bit of a flame look, I think. I really like that. What I am surprised about is the cutout in the gusset. Certainly the top tube, I'm looking at the bottom one now, but on the top tube, it's lifted quite high up above the actual main tube there, which you should see in this little clip here. And again, the underside of the down tube gusset, externally machined head tube. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that, even if I did pay way over the odds. Absolutely no sign of any serial numbers anywhere, but then there weren't any on my Gen 2. So the only damages I can see on this are a bit of chainstay rash just on that drive side, or what would have been drive side, in the year 2001, if I remember rightly. Yeah, it's seen some feeble action, and of course dropout rash, but seat tube's not pinched. Head tube looks nice and round. No damage. Couple of grazes on the down tube underneath. You might just be able to see there, but again, nothing. But yeah, that is a survivor. So is this the beginning of a new collection? Will I eventually be able to add it to my existing collection if I can get that retrieved? We're just gonna have to wait and see on that one. What I can tell you is that the collection was insured. I just created some files for each and every frame that was in storage there for the insurance company, with prices when new, as close as I could guesstimate. And then I've had to basically screenshot a load of prices of similar stuff on the museum, just to show them what sort of market values are like. Some of which, I mean, like the King Liberty, there was a King Liberty bike on there, went for like $8.5 grand. Well, that's what it said it was sold at. I'm not sure I believe it, but you know what? If the insurance people believe it, I'll be happy with that. So yeah, fingers crossed I get a payout or I get the frames back. One or the other will be very nice. If I get the payout and the frames aren't retrievable, my plan is to come over to the States. There's some big hitter collectors over there, big hitter collectors. I'd definitely like to film some of those and chew the fat with you, of course. So yeah, the channel's not going anywhere. At the end of the day, the channel's not about my collection, it's about collectors. So wherever you are in the world, hopefully I'll be able to start making inroads into getting out to see a few of you. Really would enjoy that. So yeah, flight tickets to the States. Put your hand up if you fancy having me come over there, and hopefully in a few weeks I'll be able to confirm that that's happening either way. So fingers crossed for that. In the meantime, stay safe, make sure your collections are safe, and make sure they're insured as well. Never in a month of Sundays did I ever believe for a split second that putting the bikes into professional storage would result in them being basically taken from me. So a word of warning, look after your stuff, get it insured. I can't stress that enough. So see you on the next episode, which will be coming sort of towards the end of next month. See you then. Bye-bye.